Kim Lawrence. Thank you very much, Kim Lawrence, for coming back for week 3. I'm so very excited because Kim sent me the message. Her submissions last week they've been really good. She's renowned in this city as as an iPhoneographer and very talented processor of images in in the iPhone itself. She has some amazing abilities to just bring out and make images into art. We can say all day how much photos are art, but when you think of art, this is art. She really processes and adds a style to them that is really her own. So with these shots, I'm very excited because she sent the note. I asked her, I would really love to see more shots taken from her. I think it was a Sony Nex 5N. The mirrorless DSLR, and she submitted a couple shots that looked great, that looked very promising, and I thought I would love to see more. And so that's what she's done this week. All mirrorless shots, all with her DSLR. Thank you, Kim. That's a little challenge of your own. Thank you for taking that on. I can't wait to see what you got here. This is delicious, and I think I know where this is taken because this is one of my favorite places to eat. Very healthy, tasty vegan lunch at Magnolia Cafe. Taken with a Sony Nex 5N. Beautiful. And it gives me cool. Crank that ISO up, 18 mil, 1/320, f4, beautiful. Just a side note, you could have gotten the same exposure. You don't need to crank it to 3/320, 1/320, sorry, for the shutter. You could drop that down and save yourself a few stops of light and drop the ISO, so that it's not that big of a deal. But you could do that just to kind of balance things out a little bit because you want to keep the ISO as low as possible. So yeah, you don't need the shutter speed necessarily at 1/320, but that's okay. It's a great exposure, so nothing wrong. There's no wrong exposure if you've got the right exposure. Forget that. That sounded really stupid. So beautiful, delicious food here. Blown out background here. Kind of looks like it's on a little bit of a tilt. Would have straightened that out. Turn it head counterclockwise just a little bit, just a hair. But blown out really nice. That you can't even identify that person in the back in the red. Awesome. Lots of colors going on. Lots of colors in the back scene. So that could have gotten lost if you didn't blow that out. So that's really great. Let's see here. I actually know the seat that you would have been in, so I know that you don't have that much room. Would have possibly backed up a little bit. 3.556. I would have probably zoomed in to maybe 35. Backed up a little bit if I could get myself a little bit of space, so that you could zoom in a bit more. But then it's a variable aperture lens. What I was going to try and say was that if you could possibly give yourself a little bit more zoom distance at a higher focal length, so that you can still keep that background nice and blurred out, but perhaps give yourself a little bit of a wider depth of field, so that you can get more of the food in focus here. Because this focus lost on the broccoli, it hurts it a little tiny bit, but not very much. You got the rest of this bowl in focus, but if you were trying to get the whole thing in focus, widen that aperture out just a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, and you can still, as we've seen in other shots, even at 5.6, you can still get a nice blown out background in your image, and that'll separate it for you. And with this whole bowl in focus, that will make it stand out as well. But good job, digging it. Moving on. Tree in the middle of a lot of trees. Okay. So, obviously difficult because there's no color. So, okay, if you're approaching how to shoot a tree amidst every other tree in the forest, all right, how do you separate it? Beautiful. Okay, what focal length was this at? 18 mil. So you stepped right up to it. 1/4000. That's nuts. Awesome. That tree must have been moving. Yeah, so you must have gotten nice and close. Get your subject close to the camera, focus on it, blow out the background, so that my eye goes right to there. Otherwise, this tree looks identical to every other tree in the entire forest. So what's going to make that one stand out? Nice sharp focus, blown out background, beautiful. Great detail in it too. Fantastic. Catwoman. This was a stage shot. I did sneak a sneak peek at this earlier because she did tweet this. Thank you. If you do tweet your photos, I will try not to look, but I do encourage you to take shots and tweet them so that other people can follow the hashtag SGPhoto, and you can tweet progress shots that you've taken, and also little tips and tricks and questions if you got them. So I do follow the hashtag, and I can respond to questions if you use the hashtag throughout the week. Sharp Photo Challenge number 3, isolation shot on the SIP Club patio, downtown Guelph. Awesome. You are a gal that likes to take your camera wherever you go. I dig that. So do I. Because you never know what you're going to shoot. You never know what could come up. So here we go. Slightly staged here. The cigarette butts and the dirty the outside patio here. I wonder, did you come across this Catwoman or did you place it here? Disregard that. Look at your settings. 1 over 160, f5, ISO 200, 20 mil. Okay, so you like to get your camera nice and close so you can get your focus on the subject and blow out the background. Great. Let's see, f5, and of course there's a lot of distance here, so you don't have to worry about closing your aperture up too much, because you're still going to get nice blown up background, just like I was mentioning before. And you got your focus. Looks like it kind of missed your eyes a little bit, or maybe it's just a soft texture. I don't know. But yeah, great. The only thing that distracts this car, unless this car is supposed to be like it's coming to get her. It's mid action. The car just kind of breaks it up a little bit. It's a little bit too much. Although it was probably parked, so you probably couldn't do much about it. But maybe just turn a bit more. Find a better background. Always watching that background to see what's behind your subject, because that's going to affect how your subject is perceived. What's behind it? Is it going to look like there's anything poking out behind their head, or is the color of the back, the wall that they're against, is that going to complement them, make them stand out, or is it going to make them disappear? If you're shooting, for instance, a person with long, luscious red hair against a red brick wall, they're going to disappear. The hair is going to disappear anyways. It's not going to stand out. Now imagine that subject against a bright green background, for instance. Probably hideous color to paint a wall, but you see what it would do. Red against green, it stands out, and it makes for a much better photo. Awesome. Moving on. Catwoman to you like Magnolia. Dig it. So here we go. Oh, I don't want to add a person. I want to show more details. 1/320, ISO 1600, 30 mil. Okay, great. You're not afraid to boost the ISOs, and that's okay. So make use of the daylight coming in. Same thing. Same thing same notes applied that I said about the bowl of food, actually. Because here, did you widen out a bit? This is f4. I think the other one was f4 as well, but okay, that's okay. Okay, yeah, a nice blown up background. Eye goes straight to there. The colors make it blend in a little bit more. The white against the whites of here, but other than that, I would encompass more of the either punch or get your frame tighter around the petals here. Are the petals the subject, or is the subject the petals in the entire vase? So either back out and get the whole thing, or get in closer and let me see that center. Where's the center of this? Make one of those face me, so I can see it. It's like a person who, if you're shooting them profile, you can't connect with them because you can't see their eyes. So get that thing facing me so I can see the center part of that flower there, that blossom. And Catwoman strikes again. Black and white against a stark white sky. Beautiful. Makes her stand out. That's great. And a little bit of something in the background here to a building indescribable to add and break up the image a little bit. Beautiful. Great. That's I think that one I prefer over the other one. Plus, it's a little bit further. It's down, not so much of an upward angle. For some reason, it just lends to the photo. I'm approaching. This isn't a person per se, but it's like when you're taking anyone's portrait. If you're going to take anyone's portrait, these are not rules. These are just things to break later. But typically, when you're shooting a portrait of a person, you want to shoot it be on their level, their eye level, so that you're not looking down or looking up at them, unless that's what you're going for. So notice the difference between this and the last one, the differences there. I'm getting into portrait tips, but that's something else. But beautiful. Kim, I love that you shot solely with the Nex 5N this week. That was great. Thank you for doing that. I would love to see more shots from you as well. It feels like you're getting more comfortable with manual. I hope that you are. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to send them in, because I would love to answer them, because I would really love to see more shots. I don't want to see you ditch the iPhone entirely, because you are amazing with that. But I would like to see more shots taken with the Sony Nex 5N, and to get you moving into DSLR a bit more, and to get you comfortable with that. So great. Thank you very, very much for implementing your own little challenge, for sticking with just the DSLR for this week's submissions. And thanks a lot. We'll see what you do next week.